arrived in Japan at Yokosuka Beach. We are ready for the last PWA stop, which starts tomorrow. Super warm, the locals are friendly. Let's hope it's a good race here.
My name is Amado Prisag, and I'm representing Bonaire.
Hola, me llamo Blanca y vengo de España.
国枝慎也です、日本出身です、セルナンバーは JPL22 です。ワールドカップがここで、ローカルなんですけど、このローカルのビーチでワールドカップが開催されてとても嬉しく思います。はい。
Welcome, day number one here in Japan, back in Yokosuka Beach for the final event of the PWA World Tour. This is where the titles will be decided in the men and in the women. This is day number one. We could have action today, although looking outside, it's not looking pretty good at the moment. It's not looking good at the moment. We've got light winds, and we do have a bit of rain. Obviously, a little bit different to what we had in the warm-up. The guys and the girls have been warming up the last few days, and it's been pretty good. The forecast for the week is also looking pretty good. There is a little bit of rain on the forecast, but tomorrow looks to be pretty strong. We could see up to 20 knots of breeze for the first day of action. There is still hope today, but it's small. There's a very small chance at the end of the day. Pretty big fleets here in Japan. I think 50 in the men and nearly 20 ladies, 16 ladies. So that is pretty interesting. If you don't know who are the titles between this year, well, in the men, it is so close. Obviously, Matteo, Yukino, Maciek, Rakowski level at the top of the fleet, and then just behind them, Pierre Mortefon, Johan. So basically, out of those four riders, whoever wins this event, if one of those four riders to win, that would decide the world title. There's an outside chance for Amado Vrieswijk, but he would need things to go his way. He'd probably need to win and those guys be further back, so he's going to need some other guys to step up. But we'll talk more about that once we get into racing and once we get those first finals underway. In the women, Blanca Alabao has a lead over Marion Mortefon. It's really a two-horse race there. Marion Mortefon can beat Blanca, but she would need to win, and Blanca would have to be outside the top two. There's different point systems, because if there's only 3 eliminations, it counts for less than 4 in the overalls. So there is some different ways of doing it, but they would need a little bit of a switch up. But you can see there, Blanca second in Lake Garda, first in Pozo, third in Furta. You know, she could count all those results, be outside the top 3 here, and still would have the advantage. Marion Mortefon needs to win here, and then she needs Blanca, I think, to be in third place. Again, we're going to talk about that. Justine Lemaitre also has a chance, same as Marion Mortefon as well. So it is super close. Looking forward to see how that one plays out. Who makes some predictions? We're obviously on YouTube. If you are in the comments, make some predictions. Who you think is going to win the men's world title this year? Who do you think is going to win the women's? I will tell you my suggestions later on as we get into this. I don't want to give you any hints, but I've got a few ideas of how it's looking. So we should be having action. That is the plan. Definitely tomorrow. You never know today. It's 2 o'clock as far as I make it local time. It does go dark pretty early here. So they're talking about 4:30 with the last possible heat start. That's not an elimination start, heat start. So we won't be sailing past 5 o'clock local time. So we've got probably 2.5 hours from now that we could race. At the moment, no wind, raining, not looking good. There is a little bit of a bump in the forecast. Yeah, there you go. That's the shot from outside. You can see it's not looking good. But tomorrow there is a nice looking forecast, and I am definitely hopeful. I think we'll have an early start tomorrow. So they are talking about, 8 o'clock or something like that, being down here ready to go. And we're seeing, actually, I'm looking at the Wind Guru forecast for Yokosuka here, 28 to 29 knots on the forecast, which is pretty strong, and it looks like it's running quite early though. The wind starts to drop around 12 o'clock to 12 to 14 knots. So still wind, but it definitely drops as we go later in the day. So all the action might be early. If you tuned into last year's stream or watched any action from Japan last year, you will know we did have a very similar wind where it was a morning wind and it was super strong. Pretty exciting racing. Then the next day on the forecast, the Sunday, again stronger in the morning from the north, same direction, 15 to 18 knots. Going to Monday, 18 to 20 knots. So plenty of breeze, although there is rain on the Sunday and the Monday, and that might have an influence on things. At the moment, Tuesday not looking good. So 3 days look solid. Counting racing, that's what we're looking at, and again forecasts will change. So there you go, just a little bit of an overview. Day number 1, obviously we're going to be staying on the live, give you some views from outside. As soon as we get any action on the water, we'll be right back here to bring it to you live. Okay, here we go. We are on. We are getting into racing. Day number 1 here in Japan, Yokosuka Beach. And that's what we're looking at. Well, that's looking at me. But out there, we have a little bit of rain, but the wind has picked up. There's people flying around. It's light, on the lighter end, 5 to 11 knots on the course. So big gear. That's what we're looking at. Are we going to get some drones? That is the $1 million question, because it's a big question for us in the commentary booth here, and obviously a big question for you at home. There is rain in the sky, and the drone guys don't like to go out when it's raining. So I'm crossing my fingers. We've been poking one of them quite a lot. We're hoping he's going to do it. So local drone guys, obviously, at this event. In Japan, they have to have local guys doing it. So that is how we're looking at the moment. Trying to get lined up for the start. The start is meant to be 3:30, so 1 minute away from red flag. But you can see there is plenty of breeze out there. We've got Will McMillan. It's been a while since we've seen him. Lake Garda, when he did some damage over there, ended up on the podium, which was really impressive. Won some races. It was very impressive stuff. So Will McMillan is in this first heat. Elimination 1, obviously, and we have got 50 riders in this, so we do have a first round full fleet. So 1 to 4, then we go to the seeded riders, which is the quarterfinals. Then we have the semi-finals, and then runners-up final and winners final. In the women, we have 2 semi-finals, and then a runners-up final and a final. All world titles are still yet to be decided. It will come down to this event. In the men, it will probably come down to who beats who if the usual suspects are in contention. So if Mortafon wins, he will probably win the world title. If Matteo Yukino wins, if Matt Jetverkovsky wins, they will win the world title. There is outside chances of Mardo Vrieswijk, but he would need other guys not to be finishing second right behind him. Otherwise, they would still take the world title. He needs them to be back 3rd and 4th. So, yes, that is how it is looking. Who's out there? Who's ready to go? Joe says, let's go. Paul says, let's get ready to rumble. It's on. Kind of excited. Like I said, I won't be excited if we don't get the drone, but we'll do our best. Like I said, we cannot determine the rain, that is for sure. JP Aussie saying, I want to watch pure fin racing. Foil is fast for sure, but I don't find it interesting. I don't watch. Well, you, my friend, I have a feeling, didn't watch some of the racing we have had this year on the foil. It has been exciting. Whether you like the foil or don't like the foil is irrelevant. The racing has been exciting. No one can argue that. I'm sorry. I have been commentating on it, and I know what exciting racing looks like. It was exciting, 100%. I'd like to see you in the comments. Let me know what you think of that. From JP Aussie, that was not exciting. Come on. When will we see pure fin races again? It will happen. There is talk next year, but like I said, we will not be discussing those rumors. Well, we might be discussing. We won't be making any calls on it because no decisions have been made exactly yet. But there is definitely a push from a certain members of the fleet. Paul says, some of the foil racing has been amazing. Just absolute madness at times. Yeah, I mean, how can you say it's not exciting? Rolf says, windsurfing, go, go, go. Michelle Becker, so supporting Mr. Becker. Should say women's world title up for grabs. Blanca Alabao, maybe a little bit of a healthy lead over Marion Mortafon, Justine Lemaitre, but it isn't beyond the realms of possibility. But there is no Sarah Keita here. There's no Jenna Gibson here at the moment, you know. So there are some big names missing, which would obviously help that situation. Blanca can't finish worse than third because she would just discard this result. So worst chance he finishes third. So Marion would need to win. That is how it has to be. But Blanca has to finish outside the top 3. There he is, Will McMillan. Thailand won. James McKenzie says, foil racing has been awesome. There we go. That's the first heat on the water. We got Kudu from Japan. So he's going to be wanting to put on a performance in front of the local crowd. We got McMillan. Kaku, wasn't he a Brazilian footballer? Yamada, local boy. Or local fella, should say, not a boy anymore. We got Gotan, Ikeda, Tan, Takeda. Takeda. My pronunciation is horrendous. Yes, I know. Don't rub it in. Butchering names left, right, and centre. Ben Pearson says, is Nico in this competition? Looks a little light. It is a little light. But they are flying around when they want to. At the moment, they're waiting around the start line, getting the timing sorted. When they want to go, they're going. Although that does look slightly ominous. But you will see someone fly past in a minute. The guys who want to get on the foil will get on the foil. I don't think Nico is here to answer your question. Sorry, that took a while to get that out. There you go. You see them coming through. Guesstimation of sail and foil size, please. They'll be on their big stuff. So whatever you think their big stuff is it like 8.6, 9? Maybe someone on 9s. Bigger wings, which is, still pretty small for these guys. Is it 550? Did I hear someone saying 650? Depends on what foils. There's a lot of differences, but you can check out the full event list of equipment. It is online, so you'll be able to see. But they'll be on the big stuff at the moment, that's for sure. Any estimates? Or about estimates, who do you think is going to win the world titles this year? Men and women, put your answers in the comments. In the men, choices are Maciej Rakowski, Mateo Yukino, both of these on level points at the top. Then we've got Pierre Mortefon, Johan So, Amado Vrieswijk. That's your 5 contenders for the the men's world title. In the women, we have Blanca Alabau, Marion Mortefon, Justine Lemaitre. You can predict top 3s if you really want. Who do you think is going to win this event? Interesting questions, I can tell you. I know it's... we're lining up, I think, are we? Looks like we are lining up for this start. Will McMillan, keep your eye on him on the Challenger. He was putting a good showing in this light stuff over in Garda. So we're expecting another good showing here. We've got Kudu on the Gastra, on the blue Gastra, and we do have the drone. I mean, if you haven't already worked it out, which is great news. A lot of these guys were a bit early there, weren't they? They were definitely early. They've had to slow down. That's not a good sign. Yamada down this bottom end. Oh, Yamada. Oh, well, we'll have to wait and see if that was a clean start. Will McMillan in the middle has stopped, so maybe it was a general recall. Yeah, it was a general recall. Yamada down that bottom. There was a few guys then. Well, so that was the start. It was there were a lot of people early then. Definitely a lot of people early. We've got a much bigger fleet here in Japan. A lot of national Japanese riders competing. So these it'll be interesting to see who's going to be the main players in that, and then obviously the seeded riders come in. Let's have a look. What else have we got going on in the comments? Are we going? Yes, we're going. We're just waiting to see who was over the line early. James McKenzie says, hard to predict, Ben. I think any of them could win. That is the point. Any of them could win, but you have to put your neck on the line, give a name. I had to do it earlier. I hate doing it because then you've missed out 4 of the others, and it's like, it's not that I think they're better, just you get that feeling about someone. Like, I personally think at the moment, if you look at silt form, if you look at who has been consistent, I think in the men, Matteo Iachino is difficult to bet against. Obviously, all the other riders have equally good chances for sure. But I'm looking at the stuff this week, the wind we're going to get. I think he has the most consistent form. Matteo, Matt Chetwickowski started the year well, but he's had a few moments where he's not quite got it together. Could he get it together here? Yes, he totally could. But form-wise, from the last events, you would say Matteo maybe has that bit of edge. Will that be a psychological edge? We'll have to wait and see. Winning this event, could Amado Wiesreich win this event? I think he could. I think he's got the momentum. But is that enough to take the world title? I don't think it will be. I think Matteo will be within in that top 3. So that's how I see it. Again, that doesn't mean it's correct. That's just putting it out there. I think Blanca Alabao has a lead over the other riders. I think with Sarah Keita missing, with Jenna Gibson missing, so there's a few players missing. It's hard for the other girls to get her out of that top 3. And if she finishes top 3, she's won the world title. So I think Blanca Alabao will win the world title. She's had a good year. I think it's already been a success. I don't think she's got the pressure on her at this event, but we'll have to wait and see. That's the exciting thing about racing. Original Swedish windsurfer. And the fin is like it was before, was quite boring, and watching it restarts foil at least. Well, yeah, sorry, I'm just reading the comments, but we just had a recall there. But it's true. I think sometimes your mind plays tricks on you as well. I just know from watching years and years of racing and commenting on races, that was it's been a really exciting year. Like I said, whether you like foil or not, I'm definitely a big fin fan. I get the foil, I understand it, I can do it. It's not my go-to. I prefer the fin. But in terms of racing and the conditions we've been racing in, the foil has made some conditions which never would have been exciting for the fin exciting. There's no argument there, and I almost don't think it's subjective either. It's just like, that has been how it is. Trust me. So yeah, let's see. We will. I'm sure we'll be getting some fin racing. That's for sure. Thomas says Iachino and Alabao. They'll sail off in the sunset together. We did actually make a joke about that earlier. It would be a very lovely coupled shot, wouldn't it? Social media going crazy. Hi Ben, GPS tracking should be there on every slalom event. What do you think? Yes, logistically wise, yes, they have a good team here to do it. If you're not already set up for it, you need extra people to make sure it's charging. And there's a lot that sounds stupid, but there's little things that you need people for to make sure it works smoothly. In Japan, they have a big crew. They've got this system, which I think they use nationally, so it's a very well worked system. We've used it before in the PWA at certain events when there's a team being there, but it needs a special team to kind of run it, which you wouldn't have think so, but trust me, I've seen it. You do need that extra few people making sure they're charged, making sure the sailors have got them, but it is useful. I mean, especially in course racing, it's really useful. So I've got on the clock here, it says 30 seconds until the start. So let's see. Kaku and Yamada were over the line early. That's going to be disappointing for the local fella. Probably wanting to impress Yamada. He's going to be disappointed with that. Over the line early. So 6 riders will be in this. Or it looks like 5, to be honest with you. Oh, no. Oh, no. Has Will McMillan just jumped the line in the first round? If he has, that is a rookie error. we might get a replay of that start. But if it was Will who is over, he's dropped a ball there, because, I mean, that guy is a podium chaser. What is he doing going over the line early when we've already lost 2 riders? If he was over the line early. It is a general recall, that's for sure. There's 8 riders in this. We've already lost 2. So 6 riders, 4 to qualify. You know, can we have... If possible, if not, then we'll have a look. We'll just have a look before they're going to call it, so it'll just be interesting to have a little look. Look quite chipper out there. But looking at Will's body language, I just kind of thought he was over, but maybe he was looking at the other guys for, oh, what are you doing? Why are you over? So it could have been that body language. I wasn't actually paying attention at the moment. I just didn't think anyone would be over. So my brain was half asleep. We've got Jane McKenzie going Mortefont and Blanca. Quest says Maciek and Blanca. That's the live stream booth just below there as the drone comes down. So I don't think we're going to get a replay of that start, but I'm sure we will be getting confirmation. Yep, so we're still waiting for that sailor to be named. Japan 5, let's have a look at that. I've been seeing him quite a bit in this. Japan 5 is Akeda. Japan 9 waving his hand around a little bit. Is that Kudu? Could be. So, still waiting. 2 general recalls already. It's like going back in time. No confirmation yet. So still waiting for that confirmation. Well, I'm just looking at my live view, but I haven't got that live view on. Has anybody got the GPS live working? Okay, that's good to know. At least it's not me. There is a slight problem apparently with the GPS at the moment, but hopefully that will be all fixed up. Sailing again, general recall. Upon looking at the video replay, it turns out nobody was over the line on that occasion. So there we go. No one is over the line, and it will be a restart. So better to be safe than sorry, I guess. I'm going to say, Mr. McMillan must be pretty happy with that. Like I said, when he went over the line, there was definitely some hand waving going on. There we go, Gastra Taboo boys on the beach. I guess already seeded through. Mattis is in heat 5. Stallman is in heat 7. So they've got the first round to go through yet. And if we keep going on like this, they might not even get on the water today. It's just to give you an idea of timing wise, it's 10 or about quarter to 4 local time. Last heat can be sailed at 4:30, I heard. So we're only going to get through 45 minutes of heat. So we need to hurry up. No more general recalls. Come on, boys. Stop messing around. Let's get this on. I want to see some more predictions in the comments. I mean, I'm looking at YouTube, so if you're commenting on Facebook, maybe I need to have a little check of that as well. Yeah, yellow flag up on the boat, so 2 minutes to go until the start. There we go. Let's have a look at some comments on Facebook in case I've missed any. We've got, how is Nico Preen? Apparently he's racing. He seemed okay today. I'm not quite sure of the problem. I think it was some sort of stomach problem. Definitely don't think we should go into detail. Phil saying, will you go to Luderitz? Me personally, no. I'm not going to go to Luderitz. Oh, it's postponed. Nice and sunny day. Yeah, so the postponement flag is up on the boat. Not quite sure. Wind's a little bit unstable. Like I said, it wasn't looking good for racing today. I'd pretty much wrote it off earlier. And then as soon as I did a video saying this, the wind picked up. It's like very normal for that to happen. So maybe the wind is swinging around a bit. If you are just joining us, the forecast for tomorrow, I don't know if we can bring the forecast up. But we do have the wind forecast for the rest of the week. It actually looks pretty windy. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So that's the forecast for today. The Friday forecast. Saturday, obviously tomorrow, from the north, very strong early on. They're talking about racing from 7:30, 8 o'clock, or at least somewhere around then. And then we've got Sunday, again, early wind. And then Monday, again, wind pretty much most of the day. And then the last day of competition looks a bit light at the moment. But we've got wind on the forecast, so that's good news. I think tomorrow morning should be very interesting. And we will see a little bit of a glimpse of how that world title might play out and see who's on it at this event. How are we going to get on today? There's no rain tomorrow as well, which is very good news for the drone. The other 2 days, well, it's not lots of rain, is it? Let's be honest. It's not lots of rain. It's kind of drizzle. Very light. So we should be okay. I'm going to cross my fingers on that one. Any links for the weather? Yes. If you go onto the PWA website, you click on the big green sort of button on the home page where it says event in progress or something like this. You click on that and there is links to the that weather on Wind Guru, just so you get the name right, because there are different ones to check. We've got Yago saying Blanca will win. Mr. Stiffles saying go Ben, go Amado. There's Pierre Mortafon. Could he do it this week? He's been there or thereabouts all year. Like I say, Matt Jetrakowski started the year with the first in Lake Garda. then a second in Pozo. It was looking really good, but then it's got steadily worse, so you won't mind me saying, because that's just what's happened. So Furta 6th and Sil 8th. So if you look at that trajectory, you're kind of going, And then you look at Matteo Iachino's trajectory. He started off with a 6th, then a 4th, then a 3rd, then a 2nd. Kind of makes sense. His trajectory is good. Maciek's is not so good. They're on exactly the same points. That doesn't mean that's going to be how it is, but, you know, you can see who the momentum is with. But who will be going well at this competition? We'll find out. Pierre Mortafon, again, his trajectory has been the opposite way. 2nd at the first event, then a 3rd, then a 5th, then a 9th. So Maciek and Pierre have kind of done the similar thing in the year. Johan So obviously missed Pozo, or he could be in a better position right now, but he's at a 4th, a 2nd, and a 4th. Some super close stuff. And then Amado Vrieswijk, again, his trajectory has been very good. 12, then a 7, then a 4, and then a 1. So could he back it up with a 1 here? So it's pretty wet out there. But Postponement is up on the boat. Wind's gone a bit funky. Oh, is this going to be one of those anticlimactic ones? We were hoping for at least a couple of races. NZ says, if it were a solid 22 knots, what sail size would the foil and fin sailors be on? That is a very good question. And you know what? I don't know. I don't know. I would imagine 5.5, 6, 2. Anybody want to offer any guesses? Depends how big the riders are, you know what I mean? The small guys will be on something definitely different to the big guys. So at the moment, Postponement still up on the boat. Not seen too many predictions coming in. Blanca's definitely got it in the women on the predictions. And the other one is pretty open. Iachino, Maciek, Mortafon. I mean, it's all Maciek. Maybe he's got a few more votes. Iago says 7 meter fin, 6.3 foil. Now let's see how this plays out. Did you anybody watch? Well, try and watch the Aloha Classic in Maui. Marcilia Brown obviously taking the world title. Sarah Keita taking the women's wave world title. Super close in the men though. I think we're going to be on for another close title race here in Japan. Obviously this is day number 1. It wasn't the best on the forecast, to be honest. A lot of people thought we weren't going to race today, but the wind picked up. They've gone out there and actually they were flying around for a bit. At the moment it does look light. If Johan wins the event, he can win the overall. Yes, he can. He needs other results to go his way. So obviously he couldn't have Maciek or Iachino finishing in second. I don't think he could win then. We'll have to do the maths. NZ says, put it another way, when it's fin versus foil, what is the rough sail size difference? Oh, okay. Is that what you're saying? Isn't it usually like a size bigger, like 1 meter square bigger? Would that be a fair assumption? So if you're on 7A on the fin, maybe you're on 7.0 on the foil. Yes, I can introduce the tracking. If anyone's seen the tracking, we should be able to see it on the website. At the moment, I haven't worked that out, but we do have GPS tracking. I mean, for us, when we've got the drone, it's not going to be that useful, but it is useful for a commentator if he had another screen with it on. But at the moment, I haven't got that. But it is kind of a sneaky little useful tool to have in the background. Like if you guys are watching the racing and you want to confirm where people are, I think, yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. At the moment, obviously like this, it's quite confusing because nearly all the riders have got all their GPSs on. So yeah, there will be GPS racing. We got Tilo tuning in Miami. How is Miami at the moment? Are you living the dream? Lots of wind? Getting the kids on the water? I hope so. I tell you what, it's not as warm over here this year in Japan. I guess it's something to do with the rain, but like I say, hopefully it doesn't matter how warm it is, as long as we get the wind coming through. That is what we're looking for. Yeah, it's pretty light. It's pretty light. Well, actually, it's coming into the beach. That's why. Postponement flag is still up. Iago saying, great GPS and drone. Living the dream. Or he says leaving the dream, but I'm guessing he means living the dream. Let's have a look at this. We'll just go through a few more comments, and then I think we should we'll probably go on hold here in the commentary, because we're going to have 3 pretty hectic days. We've got big fleets here, so they did say something about having no breaks. So, yeah, let's see how that goes. But what's Toby say here? He says, if Johan wins, he should be champion according to my maths. Equal points, but has more events. Been ahead of Maciek, and yeah, that's probably how it will be. That's what it sounds like. If you maybe you're right there, because I heard depending on that top 4, which is Pierre Mortefon, Johan So, and then Matteo Iachino and Maciek Rakowski, if whoever wins out of that pretty much will win. If we do 4 eliminations or more, because there's more points when you sail 4 eliminations or more. If you sail 3 or less, is less points. Maybe that makes a difference. But I'm pretty sure whoever wins in the men will win. So yeah, it's going to be super close. Going to be super close. So I'm just going to leave you with these views at the moment. As soon as we get any sort of action or we go into sequence, I will be back to give you the commentary. We're not going to put any music on, no rubbish like that, so you can leave it on the tab, and then as soon as you hear my voice, you will know we are going to be back live. I'm just looking at Tilo, says windy every day. Wow, lucky boys. Okay, I'm going to take a short break, and like I said, if we have any action, I'll be straight back. Okay, who's there? Who's still there? We might have some interviews. Well, in fact, we will have some interviews at some point. Sarah Jackson is going down the beach and going to do some roaming around. So we'll see who she can find, get some insight from on the beach here in Japan. Obviously, no racing so far, day number 1. But the guys are on the water. We've had 2 general recalls. We've already disqualified a few people. But, yeah, we're going to be, I say the royal we. Sarah Jackson will be going around the beach and getting the word from the sailors. Kind of interested to hear what they've got to say. Who do you want to hear from? Let me know in the comments. Who do you want to hear from on the beach? We've also got Hella Oppendahl back on the tour. That's kind of big news. She's kind of sacked off the Olympic sailing and come back to the PWA. Said it just wasn't her vibe. PWA is more her thing. Interesting. So the live on the PWA is stopped. Is that me or? Okay, so Sarah Jackson has gone off in hot pursuit of some pro riders. Let's see. Iago saying, isn't Hella going off to study or something next year? Well, that could be part of it. But she's back on the PWA for this event, that's for sure. I don't think... well, I mean, there's some tough competition in Norway as well. It's not all easy, plain sailing, as they say. Olympics is pretty hotly contested. Obviously, Olympics is next year. That's going to be an interesting one as well. I wonder who your money's on for the Olympics. That's quite a tricky one. So if you have just joined us, Japan, day number 1, we've got the first round of Elimination 1 men's out. We've done 2 starts, we've had 2 general recalls, we've lost 2 riders already, and at the moment we're on postponement. Sarah Jackson has just gone off down the beach to get some interviews with a few of the riders, so we should be hearing from them very soon. Who are we going to get? I don't know. I'll be honest with you. It's literally lucky dip. If she goes left, she might get a few different ones. If she goes right, a few more different ones up that side. So I'm interested to see how far the wireless camera works, because it is kind of a funky position here sometimes. We've had it before. So yeah, let's see. Just looking at results as well. So just coming into this event, 10th place is Alexander Kuzan. 9th place, Nico Preen. Bruno Martini in 8th. Michelle Becker having a bit of a storming year for him. In 7th place, could he go up any higher? He could do, looking at the points. It's super close. Especially with Enrico Marotti. Okay, we've got Amado Vrieswijk, winner of the last event, down for an interview. So let's go and have a word with Amado Vrieswijk.
So we're here with Amado and Matteo. Blanca's hiding in the background. You boys have just been out. How was it on the water?
Light.
Any more descriptive
It's
words?
not enough. At the moment, it's not enough. I think, yeah, the more you come in, the wind turns. It's just not enough at the moment.
What gear are you on? The biggest.
Biggest stuff we have.
Yeah, 9.0, big board, big foil.
What is a big foil for the people at home?
It's like 550 square centimeters front wing, 74 wide. It's a lot of power. But yeah, it was just like actually on the first, before the first reach was kind of alright on the run up, but then just the more inside you were getting and the more side shore and light it was getting. So.
Is that why it's been so hard for the guys with the start? Is it gusty on the starting area?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they were pushing because it's so light that you don't know what you're gonna get. No?
So you need to be on
So
it.
if you miss the right gas, then you're screwed.
How's it looking for tomorrow morning?
Gonna be ready. I think we're gonna have to rig or prepare the small sails today.
Yeah,
A small board, and I think it's gonna be windy tomorrow.
it's looking good.
And Blanca, how are you feeling about this competition?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Now I didn't went to the water. I got fully ready. My board, my sail are ready. But I saw the guys barely jiving, so I decided to stay here, watch what they are doing to be calm and just see what is going on.
And all three of you are in the world title race. What's the vibe in this camp?
You just need to have a Severn sail and then you can join the...
So that's the trick, hey? Be on Team Severn.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, we'll go and chat with Nico now, but good luck.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Bring him some chicken.
Yeah, there we go. So that's good. Nice little interview there with three title challengers. Amado Vreeswijk, outside chance for him, but he'll want to win this last event of the year. Obviously, Blanca Alabao looks pretty relaxed there. She's got a little bit of a cushion ahead of Marion Mortafon, but still needs to put in a top three performance. And then Matteo Iachino. Again, he's coming into this event in first place, but it doesn't really matter. Whoever wins, like I said, if those top four are in contention, whoever wins will take that world title. So yeah, looks like Sarah Jackson's going to go and try and find some other riders to interview. Always good to hear from the riders, get a sense of how they're, looking. You can sense if they look nervous or they're not feeling it. Okay, so we've got Nico Preen. He's been in hospital a bit. So Nico Preen, YouTube superstar.
Nico, for the people at home, what's been going on for the last couple of days with you?
What has been going on? Well, I got a pretty bad food poisoning, and I don't want to get into detail, but it wasn't very pleasant. But the Japanese have been helping a lot, and I got hooked up on an IV, so I got all the liquid and electrolytes back, so I recovered quickly. Still don't feel a little bit under the weather, but well, here I am, waiting for the wind.
Have you got any messages for the people back home? It's 8 o'clock now in Europe.
Yeah, well, don't wait too long today, because I think it's going to be over very soon. The sunset is, well, the sun is not here, but the sun's supposed to set very soon, and I think we can look forward to tomorrow because the forecast looks good.
Awesome. Well, good luck tomorrow. Hope you're feeling better, and maybe let's have a quick word with Bruno. Keep going. Bruno, hello.
Hi.
How is it to be back in Japan?
Actually didn't have a good memory from Japan, not yet. So it's always a pleasure to visit a new country, especially Japan. Have this special Asian environment, then it's good to visit anyway. So let's keep it up.
Any big crashes on the plan for this year? You had a massive one last year.
Exactly, last year I have a massive one with Tati, with the fin. I will try to avoid any type of crash this year, especially with the foil. Is much dangerous sometimes than with the fin. So let's see.
How's the forecast for the whole week? Are we expecting some fin action, or is it just going to be foiling?
Actually, I was checking the forecast a few minutes ago, and it looks like really windy for the next 3 days. So I'm gonna expect 3 days full power, and that's it.
How have you been training for this event? Have you been home in Garda, or have you been travelling?
Yes, actually I was in Garda, and I was training a little bit with Matteo. So we have the possibility to test and to finalize some materials before this event. I didn't sail much the last weeks before coming here, because the weather was really bad in Garda, but it's okay anyway. I put a lot of hours in my forehead anyway.
Awesome. Well, good luck for the rest of the week.
Thank you.
Okay, so there we go. Little update from Bruno and Nico. So yeah, Nico, we don't want to talk about it, but it sounds like he's been in a bad way. But all good. We just heard they have sent everyone back to the beach. So I have a feeling that is it for day number one. That's not official yet, but it does look that the wind kind of peaked up for a little bit and then dropped off, and there's not enough now to even foil back to the beach. So I think, like Nico said, don't get your hopes up. That's pretty much it. A little bit of a dry run there just to get us in the mood before tomorrow. Tomorrow looks a guarantee. No rain, lots of wind on the forecast. So yeah, Sarah Jackson is still out there. I'm not sure what the plan is for interviews. Are we going to be doing any more interviews? Maybe. So can maybe stay around for a little bit to see who we get. But you can see now the wind is just totally shut down. There was a little a bump, but it's pretty much gone now. And they're cruising back in. There we go. Boats are cruising in. Riders are, well, I was going to say cruising in, but they aren't cruising in. They're just wobbling in at the moment. Yeah, that's the way it's looking. It's kind of a miserable day, to be fair. It's a bit like the UK on a summer's day. No, I mean, it's like those autumny days, Mystic. Yeah, so it is all off for the day. Yeah. Cancelled, totally okay. So it's official. It has been called off for the day. So unfortunately, no real action to speak of. Couple of PMS starts, a few disqualifications, but no official result from day number one. Day two will be coming soon. I'm just looking around me in this live booth to see if I should roll it out, but I'm not getting any confirmation here. So I'm going to stay with you guys for a bit longer. Yeah, so there we go. We are going to wrap it up now. So, like I say, thank you everyone for joining. That will be it for day number one here in Japan. Join us tomorrow for day number two. I think day number two will be the big day of the week. We're going to see plenty of action tomorrow, and it's going to be an early start. Obviously, you guys over in Europe will have to check your times. Just to give you an idea, it is 4:15 local time here. So it'll probably be really early in the morning. Or you could wait for the day to end. So I would say in another 15 minutes would be a typical day to end. And then you can watch it on the restream when YouTube upload it, and you can watch it like a new day. Don't look at any results. Don't look at anything. No peeking, and watch it almost as if it was live if you don't want to get up there nice and early. But it should be a good one. So there we go. Thanks to everyone for joining. Join us tomorrow, and we'll see you then.
We have arrived in Japan at Yokosuka Beach. We are ready for the last PWA stop, which starts tomorrow. Super warm, the locals are friendly. Let's hope it's a good race here.
My name is Amado Cruzag, and I'm representing Bonaire.
Hola, me llamo Blanca y vengo de España.
国枝慎也です。日本出身です。セルナンバーは JPL22 です。ワールドカップがここで、ローカルなんですけど、このローカルのビーチでワールドカップが開催されてとても嬉しく思います。はい。